Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian Indices report for the 23rd of January, and starting with the ASX on the daily chart here. One of the accounts that we've had is from the high here. We've been able to look at this as a 5-wave sequence to the downside and then pulling back up into the 50 and the 61.8% retracement level. So there is a chance that this market can move much lower from here. So we need to be really mindful of our equity trades within all of this. So it's possible that we can have this as an A wave here, B wave here, and then a C wave in 5 waves moving lower through here. And in a strange way, this would be in line with the banks, especially with CBA that we've been tracking. So we can have an A, B, C top in here for CBA now and working lower from here. So this count is here, but on the American market, we've got the same count for the US market actually as well. There's a count there for that. I know the internal structure within here, so I know where we are within here, and we'll look at that in a moment. But it's just nice to have a look at the bigger picture as such, and perhaps make a play for it, at least understand what support levels that we'll be looking at. So, yeah, so anyway, this is here. So if I go to... let me just see what I've got on these other charts here for a moment. So this is the more bullish count here, just on the 4-hour chart here. So on this count here, we have wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the third wave, coming back to the fourth wave, which will be to the fourth wave of 1 lesser degree. So that will be in play here. So unless this wave 4 low here becomes if this low here at the 38.2% retracement level and wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, if that becomes a retested resistance, then we'll be moving lower from that point. Okay, if we find support here, then we can look to go long from this high and second high here, and today's we can move in on the long side here. Okay, but we're still looking for an A and a B and a C at minimum here. We can also be looking at a deeper move in here as well. So if I just go to this 2-hour chart here, this is a chart that we've got on the US market here. So in this case here, we would be looking for a deeper move here, and it would be 1 and 2 here, and all the way up for 3, 4, and 5 here, and then an A wave, which would come pretty much down to wave 4 here in this space here. But we've got 5/8 as a nice... All of this block here is the support area for this market coming down here in its first bounce here for wave A here. Okay, so just be mindful of that, because once we get our 5 waves here, we're going to come back in 3 waves for wave B and then down for wave C here. So this is the 50-60% area for this count here. So I guess really until we breach this down here, you know, we won't have that bearish count in play here. So but at the same time, it's a long way from here to here. So it's okay to have short trades in here. So the short trade would be one way or another would be, once this wave A is finished here, that will be in 5 waves. Then this move here will be in 3 waves here, so we can just really draw a line across here, and we can look to short over this side here. Now obviously we're going to get 5 waves in this little space down for wave C here in this instance. So once we've got that, then the risk comes in, so we would have to you know, take profit on some of the trades here, and then just observe this here. If we get this as a corrective move, then we'll need to go short again through here. So we'll have strategies in place for this in terms of the 1-hour chart here. So in a nutshell, we've been stopped out of our long trades from here and from here now, so we're out of those. So we just need to be mindful what we have here now. So if you're short already, well, that's fantastic, but the reality is that from this high here down to, let's just say this wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here, then the market can bounce back up into this space here. So we can look at this just as a rough estimate at this stage. We'll be looking at 5 waves down, so we can go 1 and 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here for the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and a 5th wave in here. So yeah, so that will just come down as here, back into here, spike down into here somewhere, and then we'll get our A, B, and C wave coming in here. So this is basically where we want to be looking to short over this side over here when this comes through here. Of course, we can short in the box here, you just need to refine that, that's all. But if you short here now, then you still need to leave the stop out of the way, so you'll need to leave the stop up here. So if I can just borrow this for a moment, I'll just copy that for the time being. Copy that. So we'd want to leave it above here, well out of the way. So it's quite a distance here really for that. I mean, any short trade here, if you know the trading levels, would have been at the 72 here. So that means that, let's just remove that. So within group 2 here, you know group 2, so 60, 65, 72, and 80. So market sitting here, dropping through here and coming back and retesting it here, then this would have been technically, well, my style anyway, would have been shorting through here at, you know, in a rough sense at that low here because of the retesting of 72. Because this market playing with 5-9 here, then we have group 1 above and group 2 below. So as long as the market stays within this space here, then it belongs to 5-9 here. But once the group 2 becomes the retested resistance, then it's leaving this number and moving down to the next largest number. And the same to the upside. If we get support on top of 3 here, then we'll be moving to the upside there. So look, in a nutshell, the bigger picture, I am unsure. There's a couple of possibilities, so we need to be mindful of them and we need strategies to play for them. In the short term here, this is the pattern that we're going to get here. And yeah, so yeah, this looks like the likely one here at this stage. So yeah, okay, we'll look to be short on this side over here, but like I said, we can go short here. And you just got to keep the stop out of the way at this stage. So I'll just put this over here. I mean, we've got this gap up through here. We've got long trades on the markets for the Australian market, so I'm happy with quite a few of them, but we will start hedging some of them now just to try and keep the books stable as we move through this corrective pattern. Regarding the Nifty 50 here, we originally were looking at this particular pattern here as moving up off the low here as corrective. It wasn't displaying an impulse wave here. However, once we've got this triangle pattern in through here as an A, B, C, D, and E here, then we're looking for a break at the top here, which we've got, and looking at 5 waves moving up as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up through here. But it's possible that this little 5 waves here is just there already with this wave B sitting in here already. I won't know that, but we won't be short until this line here is breached, this low here is breached. Then we'll know that we'll be coming down further from that particular point there. So let's just go in and explore this area through here. We know that the market's up at its from this high to this low here at the 50, 60, 1.8% retracement level, and then we normally gravitate to the closest largest number here. So yeah, any failure here we would need to be on the short side, but let's go in and have a look at this. So yeah, so let's have a look at this here. So we've got this count here, as I just mentioned then, which with the A wave here, then an A and a B and a C and a D and an E wave here for wave B, and then I was looking for 5 waves up as 1 and 2 here. The 50-60% retracement level here is back at 10,800 here, and we can have a closer look at this little correction in a moment, but 1 and 2 here, and then 3 and 4 and 5. So that's what I was kind of looking for here, but it's also possible that this wave C, from wave B to wave C that we're looking at here, is in place on this top here. It's probably unlikely, but we'll just keep an eye on it. So this, in a nutshell, if this low here is breached, then we need to be on the short side of the market, because we'll be coming down further from that point there. In terms of the hourly chart here, we were looking from wave B here, counting 5 waves up here for wave 1, and then an A wave, an A and a B and a C for wave B, and then 5 waves down for wave C here. So really need to allow this to play out. We had a long trade in through here, but last time we spoke we brought the stop up into here. Just wanted to protect what we have here, because we don't have a really clear count for all of this. And yeah, so it all pivots on this low here. If this is breached, then we'll need to be on the short side. You can go short here at the moment if you like, if you want to take that risk, but the stop would need to be above here for that to play out there. The bullish count we've got for this market, I think it's tucked in here somewhere, is this situation here, where it would leave, still would leave this as wave 1 here and wave 2 in here, and this is okay too. It's good to keep an eye on this. So if this was going to be the case, then we'd still be looking to go long above the 11,000 here, above this previous high here. But otherwise, if this 10.8 is breached, then this low here, but still, even if 10.8 is breached here, we'll need to be on the short side here too. So if the market would come down to this area, it would bounce, and then it would go through and retest it here, and then that would leave us our short trade here on this side of the fence here. So I can just put that in there, and then you put the order here, and then if that's breached, then we'll be on the short side from that point, and we'll put the stop just above here. So that would get us a bit closer. We can also look to move in at the next level here as well. So we'll use the 700 here, which is the last low here. If that becomes the retested resistance, then we also need to be short there as well on this, because we'd see a breakdown from there for sure. And it's much the same for China as well, just on the 1 hour chart here. We're looking at the low here in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then counting this 5 wave structure up here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So we've been stopped out here, and it does appear that we've got 5 waves coming down through here as well in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we'll see an ABC pattern here, and then we'll see further downside here. So we'll be able to, if you wanted to short this market, then waiting for this move through here, and we'd need to look at this in a couple of ways. So first of all, the possible pullback here is into this space here, and then up from there. But we also need to, because we're on a sort of major low here, we're also just bouncing really off the 10,000 here, which is trading level 1. I've counted this as an impulse wave to the upside here. It could be counted differently as an impulse wave here as well. It's a different way to count this, but because we're at our 50-60% retracement level here, we just need to be mindful of this. So we could also count this as a corrective move up too, as an A and a B and a C for the A wave. So an A wave here, a B wave here, and then a C wave up here in 5 waves. So we just need to stay with what we actually know. So it does appear to be impulsive down here. So we will get a bounce off the 10.8 or thereabouts, and see a retest come back up to this little correction in here as a consolidation. That will be the resistance from the other side. So and then down from that point there. Now, also wanted to just generally ask folks out there that, is there anybody actually trading this particular market, or the Hang Seng and the Nikkei? So I'm thinking about spending more time on the Australian market and the Nifty 50. In fact, I'm thinking of just doing those two markets and making a video for each of those, and dropping China and Hong Kong and the Nikkei. I can still cover them sort of once a week in a bigger picture, so to speak, but I need to know if anybody's trading them. So if anybody's trading them, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to refocus and spend a little bit more on the Australian market, and what that would mean would be, having a quicker look at the ASX200, but also looking at the mining sector and also the finance sector stocks within that space, and pretty much also the same for the Nifty as well. We would look at some of the banks with the Nifty 50, and also some of the larger stocks like car manufacturers and so on. So anyway, let me know your thoughts. I'm happy sort of to do either way. My job is just really to to put out information that's useful to folks. Alrighty, cheers.